say about this chapter, everyone reacts seeing Acnologia and Igneel fighting each other. Natsu gets very upset and demands answers, and he's assigned a job to take on Mard Geer and steal the book E.N.D. Not open it, not destroy it, just steal it in exchange for some answers. So yeah, that's basically it from that chapter, but it was a pretty decent one, and I guess it was cool seeing Igneel and Natsu interacting with each other. You can't really blame Natsu for reacting that way. I mean, Igneel just suddenly shows up, and he wants some answers. He wants to know where the hell he's been, why was he inside him, what happened to the other dragons, what happened in that year X777. So it was cool seeing Igneel unleashing that fire dragon breath attack on Acnologia, but it didn't really do anything on him. But the thing is, what Igneel says, promising him that he'll answer his questions once all this is done, that is definitely a death flag right there, because let's face it, whenever this kind of thing usually happens, there are some situations that might go. 1. Igneel loses and dies before he gets the chance to talk to Natsu. 2. Igneel loses either way, but still survives and I guess still talks to Natsu either way. Or 3, Igneel survives somehow and the fight ends with a draw. But this is Acnologia here, the apocalypse dragon that we're talking about. So, yeah, I don't see him losing. So, yeah, high chances are Igneel is gonna die. So yeah, overall this chapter, well, it was basically set up, but it was decent setup. Alright, so next up is Natsu versus Mard Geer, the leader and the Demon King of Tartarus. And surprisingly, he managed to land a punch on the guy. Actually, what's really cool about it is that you get a 2-page spread of both Natsu and Igneel using Fire Dragon's Iron Fist and punching both Acnologia and Mard Geer at the same time. It has some really good artwork in that 2-page spread. So because the situation has gotten very desperate, Mard Geer communicates with Kyouka telepathically to speed up the activation of Face. And in order for her to do that, she would have to create an organic link with her body to the main lacrima in the center of the control room. Basically, she's going to become the activation key. And apparently Face will steal the dragon's life forces. Apparently Face can do that, so okay. However, if Kyouka does this, then she's going to die once Face activates. But Mard Geer's like, so what of it? Do you fear death? So, Kyouka, yeah, she was hesitant at first, but, you know, she regained her composure and says, if it is to fulfill Tartarus' greatest wish, then my life is of little consequence. She links herself to the main lacrima, speeding up the activation time for Face, and she gains a new form, which actually looks better than her old one. So the only way for Erza to win at this point is to kill Kyouka to deactivate Face. But if Face is activated, Kyouka will die either way, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, Kyouka is gonna die. But I am curious as to see what she can do in her Aetherius form, because this is supposed to be her strongest form, right? So she might have a few new tricks up her sleeve and give Erza a hard time. Time was ticking very fast for the activation of Face, and with Kyouka's new Aetherius form, she really does give Erza a hard time. So throughout this fight, Erza was asking Kyouka, why are you going so far into doing this? And Kyouka was like, because it is our destiny. We, the demons of Zaref's book, are destined to return to him. Lord Mard Geer has likened it to a homing instinct. We were all born of Zaref, and so to Zaref we shall return. And then Erza replies, no, you choose death. You gave up on the path you walked with your friends. Shut up, Erza. Just shut up. I mean, did you not hear what she's saying? She's doing this for Tartarus' sake. Basically for the sake of her members, who are practically all dead at this point. She's not giving up on the path that she walked with her friends. This is what everybody in freaking Tartarus wanted. Kyouka unleashes this, what looks like a lightning strike on everyone in the room, but that was just to their sensation of pain. So even the slightest breeze that they would feel in their bodies would be really painful for them. And it's even worse for Erza. And, you know, instead of doing the sensible thing and finishing up the activation time or, you know, kill Erza, she decides to toy with her. Which, by the way, isn't this the whole reason why Mard Geer punished her in the first place? Because she liked to torture and toy with humans? She strips her to the point where she's nearly naked. There's just the pieces of cloth that are like covering parts of her body. And then she removes all 5 of her senses. Sight, touch, smell, taste, and even hearing. And the last thing Erza hears is Kyouka saying, Tartarus is victorious. Humans have no future to look forward to. She's gonna go through something even more painful than death by making her a puppet to the Dark King. And day by day, ever so slowly, your body and soul will be torn away. And what does Erza do? Is this it for her? No, she manages to get up and punch her. Okay, keep in mind, she has lost almost all of her senses. She can still talk, but all 5 of her senses are completely gone. And yet, she is still able to get up and punch Kyouka. Even though she couldn't, because she's practically brain dead. The path that I have walked till now alongside with my friends will light my tomorrow. There is a light within me, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit because this was bad. This was bad. I don't know if this was worse than when she activated the Nakagami Deus Ex Machina armor back in the Grand Magic games. Oh my god. Like, this is why I can never look forward to any of Erza's fights, because this kind of shit that she keeps pulling. The only explanation I can possibly think of as to how she was able to get up and punch Kyouka is because she can still feel pain, and she's using that feeling to, like, know what she's touching. But that doesn't even make sense because she lost her sense of touch. Yet she's still able to feel pain. I guess her nerves are still intact or something. And you know what the worst thing is? Because of that organic link she had with the main Lacrima, her power was getting stronger by the second. Kyouka was getting stronger, and yet Erza pulls off shit like this. This is why I like Erza less and less. It's because of this bullshit. But hey, maybe the next chapter will have an explanation. It's because she's Erza. That's the explanation, hero? That's what you give us? Because she's Erza? Not because she awakened a 6th or 7th sense, which, you know, would have made a lot more sense than because she's fucking Erza. You know what? It's moments like these where I am so glad that I put Fairy Tail on hold and continued on reviewing and reacting to Stardust Crusaders because of shit like this. What the hell happened? Like, the Gajil's fight was good. Wendy's fight was good. Gray's fight was actually good. And then we have, like, this Erza fight, and it just ends off with freaking bullshit. And the only good thing about this chapter was that Erza didn't land the finishing blow. Yes, Erza freaking wins. But she didn't land the finishing blow. It was Minerva who switched places with Erza since she passed out, and then stabs Kyouka with Erza's sword. Which, you know, it was cool and all, but they were too late because the timer was on 0 and Face will soon activate. So yeah, they're too late. So that's actually the good thing about this chapter. The only good thing about this chapter. The artwork on the fight looks good. The fight looks good. But, like, how it goes down is bad. That is, like, the problem I'm having with the Fairy Tail fights that are bad. The artwork would look good, and sometimes, you know, the fights would look pretty cool, but if you think about it and you see, like, how the fights go down, it's bad. And I am so sick of Erza right now. If there is going to be another fight involving her and she pulls off the same goddamn bullshit like this, then I will officially hate this character. I don't care if I liked her back at the beginning. I don't care if she had a good backstory and good character development. I don't even care if she had some good fights back in the past. But the fact that she keeps pulling off shit like this ever since the 7-year time skip makes me really hate her. Unless she actually has a legitimately good fight that doesn't end off with bullshit, then I'm done. So yeah, this chapter and the previous chapter were bad. I don't give a shit anymore about this fight. I don't give a shit about Erza anymore. Kyouka's dead, even though she's supposed to be getting stronger by the second, but, you know, Erza freaking wins, but you know what, who cares? Let's just go on to the next part of the Tartarus arc. So instead of seeing face activating, we have to go back to Natsu 20 minutes ago. Okay. Well, as long as we see face activating in a later chapter, then I'm okay with that. So yeah, Natsu versus Mard Geer. Even though he did manage to land a punch on him, but now Natsu is struggling against him. And with Igneel and Acnologia, Acnologia can talk apparently. Yeah, even though he didn't talk before, but I guess because he didn't want to talk to humans, and I guess since he saw Igneel, might as well talk to him, and, oh, well, he says he's gonna kill Igneel because he deems him as his enemy, so yeah. Are we ever gonna get his backstory anytime soon? Because I really want to know what is up with Acnologia, like, seriously. Anyway, back with Mard Geer, who unleashes more thorns at Natsu, but he gets saved by Rogue and Sting. And, you know, they have a good idea, work together as a team to take on Mard Geer, but Natsu's like, no. Because Igneel assigned him a job to steal E.N.D, and he's gonna do that alone. Natsu's a fucking idiot, I swear. I mean, yeah, he has a job to steal E.N.D, and that's fine and all, but that doesn't mean you can't accept help from others. Why not have Rogue and Sting as their backup or something? But you know what? They still work together either way because Sting tricked Natsu into having a competition on who will beat Mard Geer first. And, well, yeah, it works. Typical Natsu. But hey, at least we get to see them, like, fighting together against Mard Geer, which was actually pretty cool. I mean, thanks to their teamwork, they actually managed to land a couple of hits on Mard Geer and even knock him to, like, the nearest wall. So yeah, kudos. But it's not enough to defeat Mard Geer, and now he's feeling angry, so he's gonna pull off some tricks of his own, and obviously Rogue, Sting, and Natsu are going to struggle against him. Well, I will say this chapter was a huge breath of fresh air after what happened in the last two chapters. I mean, this fight is definitely going to look even better than Erza versus Kyouka, that's for sure. Alright, so Elfman's group has taken down all the Lamy clones, thank God, and let's hope that that's the last we'll ever see of Lamy. They reunited with Lucy, who explained to them what was going on. Levi and Gajo were going to Polyushka, taking the ingredients for the antidote to cure Luxus and the Raijinshi from that poison, and of course to, you know, get Juvia healed up. Gray goes off on his own, and he seems to have found something. What it is, well, we won't know until he shows up later on. And Acnologia and Igneel are still fighting, and Wendy and Dornbolt show up to let them know about the 3,000 faces. Meanwhile, with Natsu, Rogue, and Sting, who are still taking on Mard Geer, even though he was feeling angry, he knows that he shouldn't let his emotions get the best of him, so he's going to try to control them as long as he could. He puts down the E.N.D book on the table, and then sits on his throne. And then he proceeds to fight Rogue, Sting, and Natsu while he's sitting on said throne. Okay. So yeah, they get attacked by more thorns and rose bombs, but Natsu did manage to get close to Mard Geer using Fire Dragon's Horn Strike, and then using the Fire Dragon's Roar to send Mard Geer flying, and then Rogue and Sting team up to use an attack called the Holy Shadow Dragon's Flash Fang at Mard Geer, but he was able to absorb the attack apparently. So if he could absorb their attacks, then how come he couldn't absorb Natsu's attacks? Like, seriously, he can do that? So can he, like, absorb that power and, you know, use it to give himself a power boost? Or can he, like, redirect the attack at them? Well, I really have no idea. He just absorbed the attack and that was it. And then he gets hit by Natsu's Lightning Flame Dragon's Firing Hammer, but he doesn't seem fazed by the attack and just sends him away with another Rose attack thing. And then, even though the throne was damaged, he still sits back on it. So yeah, Mard Geer was just showing off, acting like he's all cool and having a lot of swag or something. Although I will admit, it does kind of work on him. Although, here's the thing, did any of them thought that they could use this as an opportunity to grab the book? I mean, Mard Geer would have his hands full dealing with these three, so why didn't one of them try to, like, go steal the book? But, okay, I guess the fight is still gonna continue. Back with the rest of the Fairy Tail members, they're now aware of the 3,000 faces, and they have no idea how to stop them all, but they hear a voice, and it is Makarov, who says that there is still hope. It is Fairy Tail's trump card, Lumen Histoire. It's finally been shown, and it's a naked dead Mavis sealed inside a crystal. Huh? Lumen Histoire? Mavis sealed in a giant crystal? Okay, so... how does this explain the ghost? I guess since her body's still there, I guess her spirit is still roaming around. And you know what, speaking of Mavis, where is her ghost? You'd think she would know about all this happening, but no, she hasn't shown up. And apparently she's Lumen Histoire, so what exactly can Lumen Histoire do to stop Face? Well, spoiler alert, you don't get to know because it was never used in the entire arc. Yeah.